Hello and welcome to the weekly outlook. Just to let you know, you'll see the charts are still moving. I am actually recording this video whilst the markets are still open, so please be aware of that when you refer to your charts on watching the video on Sunday night. Okay, so what have we got going on next week? Well, we have got a fairly light calendar in terms of the way things have been recently. But we are going to go through and have a look at, in particular, the euro and also some of the US dollar data. And we've also got an interesting item out on the RBA Aussie dollar and the Canadian dollar. So we're going to have a look at, first of all, we're going to have a look at the Aussie dollar because that has posted a nice little rally towards the end of the week. And we just want to see if that is going to be a continuation and where it may stop and where it may come down. Now there has been various reports from different financial institutions, one of which was the Commonwealth Bank, that suggested that if the RBA cut in December, i.e. they cut rates in December and the Fed hike, then we can expect the Aussie dollar to drop back down to around 65 cents to the dollar. So quite some way off. We have had this relief rally. We've basically put this down to the solid employment data that came out on the Aussie dollar. So how far can it continue, and do we expect it to continue? Well, there is a possibility of it continuing up to the mid 7,300s, round about this sort of price action here, where we've had reversals before. But the important thing to remember is that the overall direction is still bearish. Okay, so we've still got a stronger US dollar than we have the Aussie. We are just having a bit of a correction in the price, and we're going to hold on to the fundamental value that the Aussie dollar is still weaker than the US. So what have we got that could move the market next week in terms of the Aussie US? We've got RBA Governor Stevens speaks on Tuesday at 9:05 a.m. UK time, which could cause the market to move. Just have a look more into depth of that. He's due to speak about issues in economic policy at the Australian Business Economists Annual Dinner in Sydney. Okay, so fairly likely that he may, it's quite likely that he will mention monetary policy, and we'll look out for hawkish and dovish tones. Straight afterwards, sort of around about 1:30, we've got the prelim GDP quarter on quarter on the US dollar. This is expected to come in stronger, so again showing that slight divergence between those two countries. And we've got the CB consumer confidence as well on the United States, expected to come in stronger as well. Now we've also got a Fed announcement on the Monday, which we'll be listening out for. It is tentative, so we've got no particular time on that one. But these data points themselves could put a halt to the rally on the Aussie dollar at the moment. So we'll be keeping an eye on those data points in relation to how we're going to take trades on the Aussie dollar, US dollar next week. At the moment, we need to see some price rejection. The first point may well be the 7,280. If it breaks through the 7,280, then we will be looking into the sort of mid 7.3s. Okay, so moving on through the calendar, we've got some good stuff coming out on the US dollar on Wednesday. We've got the core durable goods, we've got the unemployment rate, claims, core PCE, and personal spending, etc., etc. All figures that we're looking to see improvement in for the US dollar to keep to that December rate liftoff. Now, all those figures are expected to come in slightly better, and we are looking at trading the US against those weaker currencies still, such as the euro. The euro's got some PMIs coming out on Monday, which are all looking to show a little bit of weakness at the moment. So if that's the case, then we could start to see that euro US dollar start to sell off again, sort of in the midweek range. And you can see our analysis we've got drawn on here. We're expecting to have this pullback to this line of support, previous support, looking for that to come resistance. It did spike through there, has shown a bit of rejection, had a drop back down to that level, and it's just milling about around this area of support and resistance at the moment. And we'll be looking for data to either push that through or to cause it to rally. Okay, but our long-term analysis is still to see this drop down to those lower levels. Okay, so moving on through the calendar a little bit further. The next thing is, again, back to the Aussie. We got capital expenditure quarter on quarter. This too is expected to come in the minus, but slightly better than previous. So we'll see how the earlier data affects the Aussie to make an assumption to whether we can take any difference on that. And then the last point really is say there's not a great deal. It's all kind of sort of based around that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time. As we come to the end, we've got the second estimate GDP on the pound, not expected to change and not really expect it to be market moving at the moment. So really insight early in the week, we've got Aussie dollar, US dollar, Euro, US dollar, and possibly the US dollar yen as well. If we're going to see some US dollar strength come back in, we have had a bit of a pullback, and you can see here we've got analysis for it to pull back to this level here where it's sat on at the moment, and then looking for that to make a re-hike. We didn't quite get the fundamental outlook that we wanted to on the Japanese yen. We were hoping to see further stimulus, but they've actually kept things on hold, so it could slow things down a bit, but still expect those targets of 125 to be met. And that's pretty much it for this week. Not a great deal else to go into until we start to see some of those data points. Thanks for watching. I hope you can make some pips.